Hi, my name is Oliver and this is Create Something with Onramp. So today we're going to talk about product photography tips for Amazon. So basically we're going to go over a couple of important things to remember when putting your product photos on Amazon. Little tips here and there about technical aspects of your products and what they should be trying to deliver to customers. So when you're on Amazon, you might be a shopper of Amazon. I shop on Amazon and I'm not afraid to admit this, but when I'm shopping on Amazon, I don't read anything. I don't read descriptions. I don't read bullet points. I just look at pictures. These kind of habits from shoppers on Amazon kind of led to this belief that words on Amazon are for bots to digest and that images are for the actual customers. So, with that in mind, pictures are probably the most important part of your entire business. You have to have really good images and they have to kind of stand out from the competition and they have to be technically sound so you don't get punished by Amazon. So let's go over the main image and then everything after that, which is called alternative images and what you should do for each of those. So first up, main image. This is the most important image for your entire listing because it's the first way that people interact with your brand. It's the way that you stick out from the competition. It's how you get noticed and it's the first step in, eventually getting a purchase from a customer. So we're gonna go over some tips to have a really good main image, technical and kind of just suggestions to help you kind of differentiate from others. So number one, follow Amazon's technical guidelines on how to make a picture. What are technical guidelines? They're things like make sure you use a white background, make sure you use the right file type, which is a JPEG or a PNG file, make sure that the image is large enough, they don't like small images, make sure that it doesn't break any kind of technical error, like don't put bad symbols within the file name that will generate an error. All these little things can get you punished for something that all you had to do was pay attention and it'll ruin your day because it's something that you shouldn't be punished for. All you had to do was just follow the guidelines and read carefully. So number one, just make sure that the images are following all the hard technical rules that would get it kind of bounced immediately from the system. Tip number two, use a white background. So this sounds like a simple tip, but a lot of sellers still don't do it. Every image that is the main image needs a white background and it needs to be white all the way around. So all the edges need to be white. That's because that's just how Amazon prefers it and that's how it lays out their product listing pages. And if you don't have a product that is white all the way around, they can punish you, either soft punish or they can take your listing down. There's just a ton of different ways they can punish you. A white background is absolutely required. And then not just like a shade of white, it has to be pure white. Just make sure that you use a white background on your image. Number three, this is kind of more of a tip rather than like a hard rule. Use an image that is 2000 pixels by 2000 pixels. So why 2000 by 2000? So a 2000 by 2000 pixel image is a square. And Amazon, if you haven't noticed, the entire platform functions on square images. Every image is a square. And if you don't use a square image, they'll just basically force it into a square. And if they force it into a square, that kind of messes up all the aspect ratios and it doesn't look good. And you won't be able to even utilize the entire space that they give you. So you want to use a square image and you want to use at least 2000 pixels because it kind of activates the zoom function from Amazon so that people can zoom in on your products. If you go under 2000 pixels, the zoom function doesn't work as well or it doesn't work at all. So 2000 seems to be a happy medium for getting full zoom and then also having a good sized picture. Number four, this one's more of a tip as well, is fill in as much empty space as you can on your main image. So while you still want to have the white border all around the image, you want to fill up as much as that white space as possible. So say if you have like a bottle and it's tall and it's skinny, you leave a bunch of open space on the side of the bottle. And that is space that you could have been using to kind of help entice your customer. And what you can do here to kind of fill up the space is you don't break the rules, but you can kind of work around them to not explicitly break Amazon's rules, but then also still have a way to fill up space and kind of separate yourself from other companies. So what some people do is if they have a bottle, if they have a decorative box, they'll include the box. If it's designed to be around, say it's a coffee drink, they'll have little coffee beans on there to show that it's for coffee. If there's multiple colors, they might show off some of the colors that are a potential. Just get creative and don't break the rules and make sure that the background's white all the way around. And then number 5, which is kind of tied into number 4, is add value any way you can. So if you have extra products that are packed in with yours, make sure they're on the main image, because if it comes with the product, then it has value and you should show it off to the customer. If there's an extra accessory, if there's refills, if there's anything that you think the customer should know, then put it on the main image, even if it isn't something you think would be important. If it helps it stick out and it helps explain the product better, have it on there. Anyway, so that's it for main image. With that you should be able to kind of craft a good main image. And then after that are these things called alternative image. And an alternative image is every image after the main image. So the rules for alternative images are a little bit more lenient than main images. The white background isn't required anymore. You can have text on the backgrounds. You can start selling and things like that. You can get really opinionated. The alternative images are kind of your chance to kind of sell your product really well to the customer. So to make your alternative images good, you should do things like highlight the main functions of the product, what makes it special, try to get it as detail-oriented as possible, like you can zoom in and see the quality. You should have pictures of your target customer using the product in a setting that they would use it. So if they're, studying with it, they should be studying with their, headphones, their Bluetooth headphones that block out the sound. They should be in a noisy place and they should look very comfortable blocking out the sound, things like that. Also, infographics, things that kind of explain the product, that kind of cross-section, show you different layers of how things work, what makes it special, things like that. Infographics are a great way to kind of show value and, kind of help sell the product. And then also last, on Amazon these days, if you want to sell, you need something very unique about your product. Make sure you highlight your most unique differentiator about your product. It has to be unique these days to sell, and you can always find inspiration to make a unique product, and you really have to drive that home. That's kind of how you win. So anyways, the final point in this is to kind of get creative. There's rules and guidelines set by Amazon, and it's your job to follow those rules, but also deliver value to the customer and also to separate yourself from other products. So stay within the rules, get creative, be of the utmost highest quality, and then that will help your product shine through. So anyways, that's a little photography product tip guide on Amazon to help you kind of stick out from the competition. If you like this, please subscribe. We're going to be creating more content like this for Amazon sellers to help start and grow their business, and e-commerce sellers. This is Create Something with Onramp.